Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. APW Sports signing in for another Monday Night Raw recap. This is the Raw at the Summerslam, and you do get some craziness that usually typically happens the night after SummerSlam. Historic SummerSlam at that. But let's just get right into it as we begin the show off with the newly crowned World Heavyweight Champion after his rules, Seth Rollins and crew, versus and basically cutting the promo of Paul Heyman's basically blessed to be out with the future in Bron Breaker, the future and the destruction man, and we're talking about Bronson Reed. Then we have him talking about could have been OTC, could have been CM Punk, but no. The World Heavyweight Champion was Seth freaking Rollins, and Seth is basically saying that I'm the champion now. You guys shouted CM Punk? No, they're not the champion. You guys shouted Roman Reigns, the OTC? No, he's not the champion either. I am. And don't ever doubt Seth Rollins again. And the group finally has a name. The Vision. Do I like it? It might take a little bit for me to grow, and I'm not going to say grow up, to kind of grow on me, but solid name for the group. I think they were probably just waiting on him to capture the title for them to give him an official name, which is crazy. After all this time, they never had a name. But then LA Knight comes out and reminds everybody he was the last one to pin Seth Rollins at Saturday night's main event when he was talking about the whole rules that he pulled, that during an injury occurred during their match, and he ended up was the last one to pin him. And he's basically saying, I didn't get to hurt you the way I wanted to. I didn't get to beat you the way I wanted to. Now I get to hurt you more. Not only can I hurt you, I could take that World Heavyweight title from you. And he wanted a match tonight. Seth declined, but as he's making his way out, Adam Pearce comes to the ring, and Adam Pearce is basically saying, you lied to me this whole time. You lied to WWE Medical. So for that, I'm going to make you pay for it. You're going to defend that title now, and not only that, Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker are both banned from ringside. So we kick off the night on fire. Then we get to the Judgment Day backstage. Dominic retains. Still have Judgment Day as in JD and Finn's tag team titles, and Roxanne and Raquel kind of reeling from their loss at SummerSlam, which they run into the LWO, which basically leads to Dragon Lee challenging Dom Mysterio to a match later on in the night, and that ends up being accepted. Then we have the Sheamus versus Rusev match, which I still believe that should have been on the SummerSlam card versus Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross. When you see how the Sheamus versus Rusev match played out, with it being a DQ, a double count out with Sheamus hitting the 10 beat to the bra outside of the ring, there was no way, especially with the fierce rivalry like that, this match I still believe should have been on SummerSlam over Sami versus Karrion. I still believe that because they haven't put on some really good matches between the two. And then on top of that, Sami and Karrion didn't lead to nothing. It's led to nothing at this point. Then you have Sheamus and Rusev, which I will get into, well, I'll just get into it now. They were brawling all the way back. They were brawling all night. That match would have told way more of a story, in my opinion, than we're talking about with Sami and Karrion. I'm still of the belief that that should have been a SummerSlam match over Sami and Karrion. But I digress. Then you have the New Day with Grayson Waller backstage. New Day, what the hell hat was Xavier Woods wearing? I'm still perplexed that they still have the New Day kind of on this morning tour. How long has it been since they lost the tag team titles? About a month and a half, and they still got them doing this? They still haven't had any shot at trying to get a rematch at some point? I'm sorry. They are dropping the ball with this heel New Day turn. They are dropping the absolute ball. It's not any fun anymore. It's just dud. Kind of like seeing his heel turn. It's a bit of a dud. But I digress. Then you have Grayson Waller backstage. They running a Pierce and Penta. And Grayson Waller was trying to get the New Day a tag team rematch. Grayson Waller insults Pierce, which leads to Pierce with, speaking of Penta, it's like, you got a match? You got a match with Penta later on tonight. And that sets up Grayson Waller versus Penta. And the New Day shows up against commentary at ringside, which is, I'm still perplexed at the hat at this point. Grayson Waller, Penta, really solid match, but Penta ends up hitting the Mexican Destroyer to pick up the victory, which I'm still perplexed at not only the New Day, but there was no explanation or nothing happened between Grayson Waller and Austin Theory after all this time. I don't know. The WWE is kind of dropping the ball with these, but if these particular two, when we're talking about the New Day and Grayson Waller, I still think the WWE has dropped the ball. But then you have Rusev and Sheamus, as I explained earlier, still brawling backstage. And then we get the Naomi promo, if you guys are watching on the VPN, which I'm pissed they cut it off. Because she was getting right into the Stephanie Vaquer thing and they cut it off. Then we get Charlotte and Alexa. They get their little promo in and then talking about how they're good to be tag champions, and Charlotte was getting her resume, and she's gonna say Alexa's resume, but cut her off. Then we have the Roxanne and Raquel show up, wanting a fight, wanting a rematch for the tag team titles, which Charlotte says they don't back down from anything, which Adam Pearce then comes out and makes the match official. And now we have a SummerSlam rematch with the Judgment Day versus Charlotte and Alexa for the tag team titles. And this was just as good as a match as it was on SummerSlam, which ends up this time with Charlotte and Alexa still retaining their tag team titles after Sister Abigail was hit on Roxanne. I'm glad they took the titles off the Judgment Day because, like I said before, I've always wanted to see these titles go in some sort of a new direction that's not anything dealing with the Judgment Day. Now, who they could fight for here, or where could this potential story go, I don't know. I can't think of any potential opponents off the top of my head that they could face for the tag team titles, but I'm interested to see where the WWE creative is going to go with this. I am interested to see because I'm not a fan of Charlotte. I'll be the first to tell you that. I like Alexa Bliss. But them as a parent has kind of grown on me. I'm not going to lie to you. Them as a pair, it's grown on me. I'm not going to lie. So I'm interested to see where they go with them next. Then you have the Kabuki Warriors and Io and Rhea backstage with Io goes to Adam, says she's going to Adam Pearce and got a title match against Naomi for next week. And she basically says, Rhea, well, you were the one pinned in this match. And Rhea's looking like, I can't wait to face whoever wins. She just wants a chance to beat Io, which I think that's a WrestleMania match waiting to happen. Or WrestleMania moment waiting to happen. Rhea finally beating Io. I don't think it might be for a title, but I think that could be possibly a WrestleMania moment that Rhea finally beats Io in a match. So just stay tuned for that during storyline. Then Bayley and Lyra backstage. And Lyra's basically saying, you cost me, I cost you. We're not friends, we're not this. But it's like, just stay out of my life. I don't want anything to do with you. Which makes things interesting for later on tonight when involving the whole Women's Intercontinental title. Now, since Becky beat Lyra at SummerSlam, Lyra can no longer challenge for the title while Becky still has it. So that's an interesting dynamic. Then we have Dominic Mysterio versus Dragon Lee, the match that was set up earlier in the night. Dominic has gotten a lot better in the ring, and it's still crazy that Dominic got a big he even got chants, he got cheered. Who would have thought this would happen probably 6 months ago? Who would have thought 6 months ago Dominic Mysterio is getting chanted and cheered in a match? I wouldn't have thought I would see this 6 months ago. He's starting to grow on people. I think that's what it really is, because he's starting to grow on me as well. So interested to see that Dominic is getting now chanted and cheered during matches. Then we have the El Grande Americano 3 times 3 come out. I mean, there's some El Grande Americano stickers all over the damn place. You got Chad Gable, who we all know was it. Then he got hurt. Then Canada's Louis the Kaiser. And then 2 more El Grande Americano masks pop out of the crowd to help Dom Mysterio pick up the win in this match. Then he goes to take the boot, tries to hit Dragon Lee with it, only for AJ Styles to come out and make the save. I'm interested that they actually keeping this AJ versus Dom thing going. I thought that was the bit of conclusion of their rivalry at SummerSlam, but interested to see that they're actually keeping this going. Could they have a rematch? Probably a Clash of Paris, possibly. But I thought that was going to be the conclusion of their rivalry, and they were going to get a new contender for Dominic Mysterio. But that's that's kind of crazy. Then you have Sami backstage talking about his match and Karrion Kross, where he kind of shut up Karrion. And then you get Rusev and Sheamus brawling backstage some more. They're brawling more, which is wild. Then you have Becky Lynch, and Becky Lynch cutting a promo about who she should face next for the IC title. She's taking care of everybody. Who's going to be the next opponent? Then comes Nikki Bella. I was like, okay, maybe this might have some entertainment value to it. And God, Becky can cut a promo and basically saying, why did you come back? Nikki is telling, why did you come back? You're basically a liar, just like your husband, referring to Seth Rollins and his knee injury. Then Becky, we're the most powerful and greatest couple in WWE. We could say this about your husband. Oh, wait. And she goes, you can't see him anymore. And I was like, damn, Becky cooked. Becky cooked with that one. I was like, damn. Talk about hit him where it hurts. Damn. Becky cooked. Woo, she cooked Nikki on this one. Then Nikki goes to challenge her, and Becky goes cheap shot, walks out of the ring. This is probably going to set up a match down the line, possibly Clash of Paris, possibly somewhere. But, man, talk about getting cooked. Nikki Bella got cooked in this promo by Becky. Then we have Naomi backstage with Stephanie Vaquer, and Stephanie's basically saying, I don't care who it is, Io or you, that I have to face a Clash of Paris. The La Primera is going to come out as world champion, which I'm interested to see who they actually going to fight her. Please don't let it. I'll be honest. I want Naomi to keep the title because her heel work has been absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. And she basically told Stephanie, it's going to be me. I'm going to stick these horns so far up your ass, you ain't going to be able to walk right. And I was like, Naomi black card's coming. Naomi has her black card, stamped and approved. That woman is blickety black. Then we have the main event with LA Knight versus Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight title, with Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker both banned from ringside, which this has shenanigans written all over it. Overall, their match was good. It was a solid match. You were just kind of waiting on the shenanigans to happen with all the chaos that Seth has caused. So CM Punk comes out, interferes, which causes the disqualification, which costs LA Knight his chance at the title. And as Seth and CM Punk are outside, here comes Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker. Bronson Reed spears CM Punk. Then LA Knight is starting a brawl. And they all take out LA Knight and they all take out CM Punk. Then Roman Reigns shows up, which is that, I swear that is a teaser for a match down the line with him and Seth. Because he hasn't forgotten what Seth did to him at WrestleMania. And that was his first time about to get his hands on him. Then Bronson Reed, Bron Breakker show up, spear Roman, hit 3 tsunamis on him, and that's just possibly going to write him off TV so he can go film the Street Fight movie. So this, like I said, it ain't over between Seth, CM Punk, Roman, LA Knight. It's not over. It's actually far from over. And I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of Seth having a title right now. I'll be the first one to tell you. I'm not a fan of Seth having the title right now. I wasn't a fan of him running Money in the Bank to begin with. Now I'm not a fan of him having a title. I'm sorry. Seth is one of the top guys in the WWE. We get it. But it does have a different element than his last title run, with him having a crew and having a vision with him versus him being a babyface in his first run. So I would like to see how that pans out, but I just don't hope. I hope he doesn't have another long run. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't want to see it. Could they tell a story to make it more interesting? I believe they can. But just going off the surface, I'm sorry. I'm not here for Seth Rollins' long championship run. I'm just not. I'd rather see Gunther back with the title. I'd rather see CM Punk. I'd rather see LA Knight finally get a world title. I'd rather see Roman hold the title and be his part-time self. I'm just not a fan of having Seth with the title right now. It does make sense storyline. Makes a ton of sense. I'm just personally not here for it. But I don't want to speak too much long on this. I'll give this Raw a good 7.5 out of 10. Matches are solid, and you're heading into Clash of Paris, so you're selling matches for that. So it was a good episode of Raw, 7.5 out of 10. But that's all I have. Leave this video a like. It continues to help this channel to grow. Make sure you guys click the subscribe button and notification bell so you will not miss any of the videos that I post. Football season is right around the corner. Wrestling never stops, so my content will not stop. And that is it. I'm APW Sports signing out. Make sure you guys have a great day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.